It's an atmosphere of joy and celebration with the grand opening of Faith Family Books and Gifts. People are breathing a sigh of relief as they once again have a place where they can come and buy quality Christian products and fellowship with family and friends. Building on discussions that have been going on for several months, Faith Family Books and Gifts was well poised to fill the gap left by the closing of R.G. Mitchell Family Books. We're here with one of the founding partners of Faith Family Books and Gifts, Larry Willard.
We had been actually discussing, it was well over a year ago, with both of the partners, some concepts we had for opening a new kind of Christian bookstore. Now, we didn't do it only because we already had so many Christian bookstores in the GTA area. We talked about the idea that we needed a bookstore with a cafe. We had been down to the States several times. And of course down there, the best bookstores have cafes, they have art areas, you do CD launches, you'll do book launches. There's a lot of opportunity for interaction with the Christian community and with the actual artists. We did not have that here the way I thought was possible. So we were together, we were talking about this idea of opening a bookstore with a cafe. And we talked about it to the point where we almost had the idea down. We were going to open one on Markham Road down by the 401 in Markham. And we put it aside for a while. And it was exactly at that time when I was actually meeting with some distributors who are book distributors and music distributors in Canada. And I found out that Mitchell's had declared bankruptcy. So we just went to church because all of us actually go to the same church. And we went to church and we were standing out in the foyer after the service and we started saying, did you hear this? And then right off the bat we all said, well, maybe we should do something about this since we've been talking about this for so long. So that's how it started. Considering
the current state of the economy, you know, businesses are closing, people are losing their jobs and demand is low. Why take this risk at this time to open a bookstore?
Well, you know, the truth really is that if you have a dynamic idea of something, whatever the venture is. There's an old saying in the stock market when everyone is selling, buy. We're not going to let the economy dictate whether or not this was the right thing to do. We decided that either God was in this and wanted it done, or else he wasn't. And if he doesn't want it done, you know, the old saying or the old proverb, except for the Lord build a house, the workmen work in vain.
How do you guys hope to make Faith Family Bookstores different from Christian bookstores of the past?
A lot of our society now is very much into not just going to a restaurant, but having an experience at the restaurant. They just don't want to go shopping, they want to have an experience. So it's experiential. And the only way really to make sure that Christians, who are quite human and quite involved with the culture at that level, make sure that they had an experience was to have a location that allowed for Christians to come in and see a lot more going on than just buying a book that they could get on an internet or a book that they could get over at Chapters, but really have an overall experience.
We as owners, we want to feel a connection to people, okay? We want to give them the best price, okay? We want to give them a good product, good service, okay? Because we understand that we are Christians, but people appreciate good service. We want to be able to provide what our clients want, our customers want. Right now we see there's a need in the city, okay? And we want to fill that need with an environment that is comfortable, okay? An environment people feel safe, and when they come in, they feel joy and hope.
How do you guys intend to connect with the community and with church?
Yes. Well, there are a couple of us in our business who have worked with churches for years. I've worked with churches when I was at Tyndale University College Seminary. I worked with churches when I was with one of the big distributors here in Canada, Augsburg Fortress. I've worked in the media, the Christian media for years, whether it's Christian television or radio or whatever. So I know where it is I need to go, and I also know many of the churches, and I know the denominational heads. So we are going to partner with a lot of the denominations and the churches. We have a brand new program coming out where if a church member comes in and buys a regularly priced book, we are going to put 5% of that book into a fund for that church. So they'll identify who their home church is, and we'll find out who the main pastor is. And while the pastor is not even aware of it, he'll be actually accumulating a credit which he can come in and use for his own use, for his, whether it's his own personal library or for the church's library. So those kind of things will help pastors to A, come here, and secondly, to realize that there's a benefit for not just them, but their whole community working with us. So there are those kind of things. And we really do have a fairly good mailing list, both email and hard copy mail. So we will be keeping in close contact with them, listening to them, asking them what we need to do. What is it? What services do they need? What resources do they need? And in what way would we be able to help them to to have those things? So it's really a relationship with churches.
It looks like this store has something for everyone. A wide variety of books, CDs, keepsakes, and a lounge to spend time with friends and listen to live music. At Faith Family Books and Gifts, for Images of You, I'm Danielle Byles.